Hello everybody, got a knife review for you today. This is my first video, first review rather, so bear with me if I get monotonous or irritating or anything like that. This is the Spyderco Citadel, the full-size model. The C119, no sorry, the C117 is the bigger model. Aluminum handle, CPM S30V blade steel. Fully open, 8.5 inches long, and blade length of 3 5/8 inch with a 3.5 inch edge. 5.1 ounces. The handles are scaled aluminum. You can see there, bidirectional. Up towards the top half of the knife handle, there's one direction, and then the back half is the other direction. It actually makes for a pretty good grip in this knife. Feels really good in the hand. Spine jimping here on the back of the blade, and then this little cutout here, well, this little outcrop rather, not cutout, but between the spine jimping and the way the blade comes above the handle there, and this here, I mean, just really solid grip in this knife. Just really overall good feel. Fits really nice in the hand. You know, I don't have small hands, I don't have huge hands, but I mean, it just, can't imagine there's many hands that this knife wouldn't feel good in. Just nice solid grip in it. If you've never had a knife with the S30V, it's probably my favorite blade steel. There's a few out there that I really like, but this one, I mean, the edge retention is great. It's I mean, it holds an edge like probably better than any other knife that I have. And once it comes time to sharpen that edge, the edge comes right back. I use the Spyderco sharpener. I know there's a few out there that aren't too. I've seen a few reviews of people ragging on the Spyderco sharpener, but my opinion, I think the Spyderco sharpener is the one of the best sharpeners out there, and it gives me a great edge on all of my knives, and this one is definitely no exception. Really nice action on this. Saw a couple times already, but nobody gets tired of seeing that. Sexy in a knife. Pretty sweet. One more time. Just a really solid action. Really firm action. The only problem that I did have when I first got this knife, I don't know if it's something that's common in automatics for there to be a little blade play or not, but I've heard that in the OTF knives that it's a pretty common thing to have a little bit of blade play. And this one did when I first got it, but I took it apart, and it was, I mean, I don't necessarily advise taking apart your automatic, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to put back together, but I mean, it's doable, and if you have some help, by all means, to hold all the springs in place, it would make it easier. But I took it apart and looked at it and looked at the construction and made sure there wasn't anything messed up on it or anything like that, and when I put it back together, I actually, just this one pin right here, one screw rather right here, kind of, you just got to kind of tinker with it a little bit, and I put a little Loctite on it and found a good place. I mean, the thing with this, if you tighten it too much, the blade won't open all the way. I mean, it's got plenty of tension on it all the way through. I mean, it's going to open regardless of where it is, the way I have it set. But you have it too loose and you have a lot of blade play, and it opens just fine. But you get it too tight and eliminate that blade play, then it'll stop. Like, I mean, it'll open all the way all the time, no problem, but I mean, if you have it out like this, it'll kind of stop right there, kind of like it's an assisted. So I mean, you just got to kind of find that happy medium there, and maybe that was just with me. Maybe I just got lucky and got the knife that wasn't put together right or something, but I mean, small problem, fixed it real quick. And that's the only thing that I've encountered with this that I don't like, that I didn't like, but it fixed very quickly. Has the lock right next to the deployment button. Just slide it right forward there, and doesn't come open. Right back there, you're back in business. But overall, I mean, great knife. I carry this actually every day. Probably shouldn't. Probably a bad idea to be carrying an automatic on me all the time. But I guess if I get in trouble for it, I'll get in trouble for it. But for a bigger knife, I mean, it's there in your pocket for certain, but I mean, it's not so big that it's irritating in my pocket. And I always have a lot of crap in my pockets, and this is usually one of them, and it doesn't bother too much at all. Real deep pocket clip, real low profile in the pocket, only about that much of the knife is showing. I mean, overall, just a great knife. I don't use my knives heavily, but I mean, I always have a blade on me, and I'm just kind of utility purposes, cutting boxes, cutting things open, crap like that. Just regular everyday uses for a knife. But yeah, great knife, great construction, and just overall a really good knife to have, and it's cool as hell. I mean, can't argue with the automatics. Those are fun knives. Pretty neat to have. But anyways, I'm rambling, so thanks for checking out my video. This was the Spyderco Citadel, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.